Hey guys, Kapper here. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a real-world testing of our new Polaris 1000 XP Ranger Northstar edition. And all of the things that we put it through today, food plotting, I have used a tractor for, or our 750 Kawasaki brute force, which has overheated many times and has struggled to do the things that we're going to do today with the Polaris 1000. Now keep in mind, today we are in southern Illinois. We're actually much farther south than most of Kentucky where we're at. We had high humidity. We had about 106 degree heat index. So the big things we're looking at is overheating, and we're looking at is the air conditioning still working, because part of the reason that I bought this one was for the air conditioning, and that's a huge thing. And let me tell you, today's food plotting was almost a pleasure compared to years in the past because of the air conditioning in this unit and the power of this thing. So let's get to some real world testing. I'll give you some examples on how well it worked compared to in the past, and we'll see if it carried its weight today. So let's go check it out. Alright, so to start with, this is my homemade drag, and those are 60-pound lead ingots on there. And the dirt we are in is pretty much pure clay. And if you've ever used a power tiller and you tilled up, 4 to 6 inches of clay, you know how dense and heavy it really is, and how much of a drag this really is to pull these things. So this is my son here. You see that big pile of clay. If you go just a smidge too slow, you'll get about a 300 pile of clay on there, 300 pounds or more. That takes quite a bit to get it undone. So I purposefully used the Polaris with this drag setup, and I did go kind of slow in a few spots to let it actually bog down and to see how it comes out of it. So let's take a look at that. Alright, we're running the drag now in the air conditioning. Check it out, we can keep an eye on it. I got some weights on it, put that rear cameras on, so there's a couple of spots we need to pick rocks, Mike. Oh man, I'm gonna put it in 4-wheel drive, man. A lot of weight on that sucker. Better. Okay, and if you've never done power tilling or dealt with soft clay like this, don't be deceived by how it looks, because it is a lot of drag on any machine that you use. Those who have done it know exactly what I'm referring to. Alright, then moving on to the cultipacker. This is basically, like a small tractor cultipacker. I believe it's 800-ish pounds, maybe a half ton, but it is dead weight. Not quite as bad as a drag, but it is dead weight. So we did tow this before with the 750 brute force, and it overheated usually after about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes of pulling this. Then I switched to using the tractor. So I've been using it with one of the tractors, so now I'm giving the Polaris a try, and it is doing a heck of a job with this thing in this pretty extreme heat, and the AC is working the entire time. I'll tell you what, this Polaris is a game changer. Watch this turning radius. I mean, normally I was going around into that field right there. Look at that. I mean, this thing ain't but 18 feet wide maybe, with that big old cultipacker on the back. Nice. There's the rear camera, so I can keep an eye out if I made it, making a turn too sharp. I really like that. I mean, it's At first I was kind of like you guys, oh, a backup cam, but seriously, there's some really good applications for it. Now that I know you can keep it on while you're driving, that's really cool. So I got this thing just about cultipacked, and Mike is back cleaning off the four-wheeler, and we're just about done with, we probably got an acre and a half planted, I'd say. So this is going to be fantastic if we get a little rain on it. Alright, so that sums it up. I wanted to just do a real quick one for you guys of our first pretty good test. I was concerned about overheating because this thing just had a new fan put on it. They recalled it. It could because it did overheat on us once trail riding. But what a great test for it. You know, 106 heat index, high humidity, super thick drag. I mean, we ran it probably for about an hour straight. I mean, it was hot. Don't get me wrong, because Mike's cup in the cup holder was almost too hot to touch from the heat where the engine is underneath. But I'll tell you, it never overheated once. The highest I saw was, I think, 189 maybe, in the 180s for temperature. And you see what we put it through. So it passed with flying colors. And in four-wheel automatic, it's just fantastic. Tight turning radius, plenty of power to spare. So big thumbs up right here for our first real world testing, and definitely stay tuned because we'll be getting out trail riding, and we have a twin brother coming, the Polaris XP900. We should be getting here within a few days. We're getting rid of that Honda and taking our money back, which they're giving us, so stay tuned for that. That'll be our next adventure here. So until next time, Kapper out.